Back with another one. Yo, check it out. In this clip, Boss Talk 101 just recently did a review on 50 Cent exposing Floyd Mayweather on the alleged $100 million lawsuit, revealing he got receipts. It's a major power play and the real story behind the money. Check this out.
Okay, so let's talk about the Business Insider article that ran.
Yes.
We debunked this reporting, but the gist of it was that Dan Geiger, the BI reporter, said that you didn't do the $400 million Black Spruce deal. Mm-hmm. And you sued BI and Geiger for defamation recently. You said that Geiger harassed you and your family through hundreds of phone calls. And you also said his reporting was racially biased. What do you hope to get out of suing Geiger? Why did you do that?
Well, I leave that to the judge. I leave that to the lawyers. I just want the people to know. I'm 48 years old. I know you guys want to talk about real estate. Only thing I'm doing is answer the questions.
That is a real estate question.
Okay, so out of 48 years, I'm 48 years old, and I've never sued a media outlet. The media outlet throughout my life has bashed me, talked bad about me, spoke bad about my family. Now, I've always been judged because how I have presented myself when I'm promoting a fight. You cannot judge me for entertaining the people when I'm promoting a fight. Judge me for the person that you know. You can't judge me if you don't know me. So that's no different from people in this room may want to do a deal with me. But if someone going out there putting lies on my name, put lies on me and my team and my family and hurting my business, we're not talking about millions. We're talking about billions of dollars.
Wow, guys, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. As you can see, my boy Floyd is upset. He's tired of the mishaps, guys. He's tired of the defamation is what he's filing a lawsuit on. He said this has cost him millions of dollars, the conversations that's going on about him and what he's accomplished. When he went out there a month ago, they were calling him bankrupt, and he's blaming Geiger and a couple more guys. OG, are you seeing this?
Man, it's kind of sad to listen to Floyd, make this little plea. But, in everything that he's saying this, that years they've criticized him, they talked about his family, they talked about him, they've slandered him, but he came out with evidence because he's a boxer, right?
Right.
Everything they said about him, he went in the ring and proved him different, right?
Right.
So, an old saying my grandmother used to say is, one picture answers 1,000 questions, right?
Right.
So you can say what you want to say, but if I show you the picture of it, it's more likely to be true. But the picture. So we're speaking of pictures now. So Floyd is on here doing this ranting and raving about people telling lies on him. All he has to do to straighten these lies up, and he hasn't done it to date, is show one contract of $1 billion business on how it's hurt him. If he shows a contract, that kills everything else. How you gonna give somebody a defamation of character and you ain't showed no paperwork?
OG, the problem he have with it is he was, and this was months ago when he did this. Look, this here right here, we walking through these apartments. Hold on.
Yeah, okay. And I'm pointing like this because all of them, we're in New York City right now. We're in Manhattan. That's what we do. Come on. All this money made. No partners. All by myself. Over 1,000 apartments. I'm just getting started.
Thousand apartments all by myself. I'm just getting started, is what he said about a couple of months ago. But and the Business Insider come back and said they didn't see nothing that he had purchased. That it was nothing with his name on it tying him to these locations. That he was out here showing everybody that you supposed to be able to see what he's accomplished. Now he said right here he gave all kinds of.
I'm bringing the people into my lifestyle. Showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings. It's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me. Guess what? You can do the same. It's all about making power moves.
So power move, but OG, there's no proof of the building purchases nowhere, and he's trying to now sue, saying that the pretty much the guy who wrote the article is who he's pretty much going at, Geiger and them. He wants to try to stop them from speaking on his name, and he had all of this stuff going on, but there's nobody can find anything.
Well, when you're doing a commercial development, you have to go to the city. You have to get plans. You have to pay fees. So if you have a big production like that, it has to be a paper trail. So that's there we go again with Floyd. His explanation is heartfelt. Okay, they've been against you all your life, and you were able to prove your worth in the ring. You showed them. Now here it is in economical. They're challenging your economical capabilities, and you're not able to stand up to the ring. I mean, it goes back to, he told him one time he'd give him $50,000 if he read one page of Cat in the Hat. He ain't read that today.
Well, OG, he's suing. Do you think he'll be able to get anything out of Business Insider with this lawsuit?
He ain't gonna get nothing. I don't even know why. The little money he still got, why he paying an attorney $100 million? That journalist don't make $100 million.
Well, he said.
How is he paying?
I know. He's hilarious, man. He's trying to come up with ways to make this seem as if it's real. In this internet phase life, man, people, he says on there in one portion, if you go back and check out The Real Deal, he says that they asked him, is he broke? He says, well, I still have my jets, 2 jets. I still have all the stuff that, if I'm broke, living like this. So he basically trying to let them know he ain't broke, and he's really upset because they're playing games with his finances, saying things about him, 50 Cent included. And he's tired of it, OG.
Just because you show me a jet, just because you show me a boat, just because you show me a mansion, don't mean you ain't broke. He didn't show you a bank book, did he?
No. He's still holding on. They trying to say he's bankrupt, man, and it's really ticking him off.
Being broke to them, I remember one time Mike was saying that he was broke, and I know personally of some things that he had he put a trust to his children for like $10 million.
Okay, you talking about Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson. Okay.
Yes, sir. So, but to him, and being able to move like he was moving in the situation when they blackballed him out from boxing, he was broke. You understand? But Floyd, you don't see him walking around with them stacks of money that he had 2 years ago.
When he was in that boxing ring heavy, he had that money. OG, it was all that every time he moved. Money Mayweather, the money team, the money team.
It was
TMT.
Floyd, but money and fool soon part. Not that I'm saying Floyd's a fool.
OG, what do you think about 50 Cent? 50 Cent's post. 50 Cent post says, well, the case is going nowhere because you didn't do the deal, champ. He must have named the writer separately to make him have to pay his own legal team. Champ mad. What do you think about that?
Man, see, 50 is vicious, but it's like common sense, bro. Why would you do something like this? You cannot go up against an entity. Even if you're single, that's a white man. How you gonna sue a white man? Boy, you better go somewhere.
Well, and the real deal, I guess this podium that he's sitting on, he has this young white girl that's interviewing him and asking him these questions on the real deal. And it's another white guy sitting there on the other side of him. And I guess they had a New York forum, and this happened a few days ago. And it's just like, he's setting the motion to answer these questions and to reveal that he has this lawsuit against so it's against Business Insider because of all the stuff that they done put him through, and he's he's upset for them defaming his character.
He's sitting there with them two white folks looking like Toby, talking about how all of his life I had to fight all of my life, but he did not come up with any facts. That's the whole thing about it. If I defamated your character, if I defamed you, bring me the paperwork to show what I said about you is a lie.
OG, this fluff, just getting on the internet, sticking your chest all the way out far as you can. This thing is on an all-time high. I remember Bow Wow was doing it a while back. He was acting like people were chasing him and getting in front of crowds, and he was capping on the internet. How much is this is influencing what the people are thinking today when they look at the internet and see these people portraying these lives? Let's talk about that a little bit.
Oh, man, with the internet, everybody can be all that they want to be, and they ain't. So that's you can say what you want to say. We got Jimmy the Cricket and Matt 100. They hooking up in Miami, Jeff. So then they got 600 with them. So now they the Three Stooges. So this internet, it makes all things possible, So I don't.
Man,
it's amazing. Man, it brought me out of retirement. It's a nobody now. I'm a big hero.
Oh, gee, when you was younger, say in the 90s, man, when we used to have to, go home to catch a phone call or stop by a phone booth, did you ever think it would get to this point?
Man, I was just discussing that with one of my old crime partners. We was in Arizona, and we were talking about what we were doing in the 60s and the 70s when we was in prison in the 70s, but we couldn't imagine what they're doing today in our wildest dreams, bro.
I mean, iPads. Did you them boys in prison now? You can't write letters no more. They don't get letters. You have to email them or get them on the iPad. Did you ever? Could you imagine?
They giving prisoners. I got one call me every day. I'm mad that they taught him how to use the iPad. That man called me every damn day. Like, what the hell? And now you got free phone calls. So he every hour on the hour. And Big Homie, you know what? I got the phone. Get your ass up.
He won't sit down. He done finally got something that he could reach out and see. That's a whole nother level. Can you imagine a guy being locked up for so many years and all of a sudden introduced to that technologies and get just a small handle on it?
Before he had to get the young homies to call on the iPad because he didn't know how to use it.
Yeah, he done figured it out, huh? How long did it take you?
Man, it took him about a year. He's 74 years old, right?
Wow.
And man, I said, man, if you don't get off this damn phone, Joe, why is you calling me, bro? I mean, what's going on out there? What it got to do with you? You left with gas for $2.50.
What it got to do with him, OG? Why he won't stop? Somebody need to take his iPad.
Ain't got nothing to do with you. Everybody we know is rich or dead. Nobody want to talk to you.
OG, going back to Money Mayweather, man, which he's still Money Mayweather. You know, we're not gonna take it. He was a winner. He was 50-0. He went 50-0 in boxing. We can't take that away from him.
We just discussed that yesterday. All these dudes with this money name, billionaire name, Money Moses.
Shout out, man.
Big shout out to Money Moses with his broke ass.
Man, hey, man, look, man, everybody got to take on the character out here, man. And I'm going to tell you something, man. The whole game of the internet and these, you got everybody's name means something, you know, Gucci, shoot, who else? You got all these boys that got these names that big names, you know, like I say, Floyd Money Mayweather, man. My boy Payback, you know what I'm saying? Like his names, his names out here that describe like who we are. And it's a crazy world we done built up around us, man. People gonna look at us like years, say 30, 40, 100 years from now, man. Who was this guy, man?
Cadillac Bob, and he
ain't got no Cadillac.
Cadillac Bob, you ain't never had a car. You know?
Wow. OG, so, I mean, 2 years from now, Floyd Mayweather, this lawsuit, do you think this is a deflection and it'll just go away, or do you think we'll hear more about this lawsuit?
I don't know what's Floyd, who's influencing him. See, sometimes you should just be quiet and let this stuff just pass over. So he's hurting right now, so he's crying out for help. But you're crying out for help in a negative way. You cannot affect white America like that. You know what I'm saying? It's all right with the internet, with me, you, and 50 Cent, you know, and you can sue us for $100 million because I ain't got it. I remember one time, Continental Airline, I put some drugs on the plane, right? But I got on another plane, and so it was a civil case, and chemicals on a plane, and so Continental Airline sued me for, like, at that time, 78, like $30 million. I ain't had 30 million, nowhere close to $30 million. And I told my attorney, I'm like, man, he said, what difference does it make? He said, we're gonna take it to trial. If they win, you ain't got the money. I'm saying, shit, that makes sense to me.
Man, hey, so man, I think Floyd Mayweather's barking up a heck of a tree, man, when it comes down to suing Business Insiders, you know, for $100 million. The ones who writing the articles, he getting specific to name Geiger and all that. It's just so wild and far-fetched that it makes you think like, man, what will we be doing years from now when it comes down to this internet? where else can we take it? We see, you just spoke about things in the 60s, 70s, all the way up to the 90s we were speaking. And we seen this thing come from so far. Where does this thing end up, years from now? It's going to be crazy, crazy, man. And I just say, man, one thing I can tell y'all, man, y'all need to go follow up with Money Mayweather and find out what's really going down. Was 50 Cent wrong? Was 50 Cent wrong for speaking on it again? How far does this 50 Cent and Mayweather thing go? Get in the comments. Let us know, man. What you think about this business insider being sued for $100 million by Mayweather, and 50 Cent speaking out on it, telling the man stop it. Man, get in the comments, man. Let us know. Boss Talk 101 review.